Be fair to say you've been studying the Bible now for 15 years, and now you teach classes on the Bible.
I've probably been studying it for 40 years and now but have been teaching classes for the last 25 years.
About the Bible. So you could say, if I would ask you about a verse, you would probably maybe know it by heart or know about it.
I don't know if I'd know it by heart, but I would know, I could open up to it and say, I could probably say, here's what it means to me.
I was trying to help you.
So I quit using my brain cells to know like the exact verse where it is, because I want to use my brain cells on remembering what it means.
Yes. Okay. So here's my question to you then, because it was the first Bible verse I ever memorized. And I remember because that's how I got through Bible class, because I have a photographic memory and I can memorize really easily.
Oh, I wish I had.
And the verse, and it also made me feel really good. And it was about the lion and the lamb laying down together. The lion shall lay down with the lamb, and that sort of represented peace and then a new earth in a way, And I'm an animal person, so I love the paintings of the lion and the lamb, and that verse meant a lot to me. What would you say about that verse?
I would say that verse is exactly what you said. It is about peace, and it represents, a new order, meaning right now you're not going to have a lion and a lamb in the same room without one being hungry and the other being dinner. And so this is a verse that talks about the way it was before the fall of man, before the mortality the way we know it. It'll be a way that we ultimately end back to. And what a wonderful thing when it's not only that the animals get along, but mankind gets along.
Exactly, and that's why it struck me. And whenever I saw a lion, even in the book Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Aslan, just the majesticness of a lion and a lamb, and the paintings, and that verse, I know it was the lion shall lay down with the lamb. And now I cannot find a verse that says the lion shall lay down with the lamb. The verse that I remember is now, when I look at any Bible, not just the King James Version, but now it says the wolf shall dwell with the lamb.
I believe there's one in Isaiah 11.
Yes, Isaiah 11 verse 6.
And I can go.
No, we've already done. You already did it.
They're not as true as mine because mine are marked up, so I recognize stuff.
It's I believe it's Isaiah 11 verse 6.
And sometimes would you go get my Bible?
Yeah, yours. Yep.
I was just joking. This one says that the wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard with the kid, and the calf with the young lion. So possibly what you have is the memory of the way it gets said.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So, and then you go look at it, and it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't match my memory.
Right.
And sometimes there's different translations.
And that's and the reason I ask you this is I've done so much research on it, along with thousands of other people who are having the same question about this verse. And in any translation of any Bible, even the one that my mom has from when she was a kid, and then the one that my mom has, she gave to my dad for their anniversary, and even in the one I have when I rededicated my life to Christ when I was 15. It's never says the lion shall lay down with the lamb.
Let me just look and see if I have it.
And Elvis Presley has a song about the lion shall lay down with the lamb, by the way. Why would he sing that if that didn't come from anything?
That's the one that, when you said it to me, that's just all I remembered. I never had the wolf.
No.
In fact, when I read it, it's like, who stuck that in there?
Sorry, that wasn't you. I got me.
Well, I don't see the exact thing, but here's something that's really interesting.
Okay.
I read this fascinating article about, this was actually some Mormon scripture kind of stuff. And recently, they've been saying, no, it occurred like this. And I was talking to a girl in my class, and I said, yes, what they're saying is accurate. She goes, well, why didn't they do all the pictures like that? I always grew up with this picture. And then I read this article. It was by an artist, or talking about artists. He interviewed artists, and he said, do you feel compelled to render scripture just, the way it is? And it's like, no, I'm trying to get across an idea. And this article went on to explore about how much artists create our sense of what's really there,
Mm-hmm.
and yet that's not even their intention. And they can alter things because they're giving a symbolic meaning of certain things.
Sure, it's
So
a symbol.
what I assume has happened is early on, artists would read this Isaiah 11 and they'd start saying, oh yes, the lion and the lamb will lie down together.
Even though
and
it says
start
the
drawing
what, but
pictures.
what does that one say? That
The
that,
lion
that
and
Bible.
the wolf.
Yeah, the wolf.
But in this, so this is a different version.
This is King James.
King James, okay, and that one says exactly the wolf shall
This
dwell.
one,
Isaiah 11 verse 6.
Oliver Nelson Brown.
I know, I love it. See, I mean, serious. Like this is someone that has studied back and forth, which is why.
and
You-
the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall leave them. So, I'm just assuming that our image of a lion and lamb has come from all of the paintings, which is just a simplification of this book, of this verse.
And then you think of the song by Elvis, "The Lion and the Lamb," and other songs, "The Lion and the Lamb," and the painting. Why are they always choosing the lion and the lamb? When I know when I memorized it, I'd not seen a picture of it. It was in 4th grade, and I was just memorizing it verbatim. The lion and the
What
lamb.
did you say then?
I don't know. I went to a Christian school, so
Wow.
maybe it was the
Revised
something version. But it always surprises people. And you studying the Bible before you opened it, we're talking about
Yeah.
the lion and the lamb.
Mm-hmm.
So there's thousands of people right now that are they're seeing a lot of changes happening in
Yeah.
what they call the shift of the universe right now. It's getting close to a new heaven and a new earth, and things are changing, and it's called the Mandela effect. But one of the changes is there are other verses like the Lord's Prayer. There's no longer trespasses in the Lord's Prayer, which is interesting because in no version can they find trespasses.
Just one more statement on the lion and the lamb is you can see why it would take off because of the alliteration.
Yeah.
You know, and it's memorable. And you probably have preachers early on. who
But why
would
wouldn't
take
they say wolf? Because that's such a very, that is more poignant, I think, a wolf laying with a lamb, because wolves eat lambs. That would be more poignant to say the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. And then there should be paintings of wolves and lambs. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Other than, like I said, the alliteration. And the other thing you have is people that translate scriptures, like
Yeah.
different versions are being translated in the Middle Ages and on, and they're
Sure.
being translated in Europe, and they're not being translated back in Israel where it's written. So you also have some things that may
Got the
have,
whole lost in translation thing.
well, yeah, and people could relate with what they are. You know, you read
Mhm.
that, you can read something about, Palestine in the ancient world and think, I don't get this. Oh, this is like the lion and the lamb. I'm
Right.
not saying that occurred. I'm just
Right.
saying it's a possibility.
Right.